What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It's Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation, your 501c3 nonprofit arts and creative lifestyle organization bringing you multi-niche content, meaning we do many things. We give you all types. We give you variety. That's what we about. In your best creative art life, that is. We have our boundaries, we have our limitations, but not many, because we going all the way into new galaxies, baby. We part of that universe. You understand? Do you understand? Holla if you hear me. Hit that love button. Give me get them thumbs up in here. And if you're part of my subscribers, you can join me in the chat. But only if you're a subscriber. We only talk to those who have our best interests at hand. And they got to prove that even after they hit the button. They got to show that they about the real goodness. They're not coming with the foolishness. They supportive. They're responsible. They're respectful. That's the kind of people we rock with. That's the only kind of people we rock with. You understand? It's ONYXCON, y'all. Let's get it. So, have y'all been watching it? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's my latest baby, so you know I'm proud of it. I done gave it to the world. I'm building it day by day. I was working on it today. Every day I'm on it. Got that new content for y'all, that new series, that new web series. Visual with the voiceover, known as ONYXCON Presents Cyberpunk ATL. All right, Cyberpunk ATL. And yes, it is based on the worlds of Michael Pondsmith's epic tabletop vision that became Cyberpunk 2077, the epic video game, and everything else that spun off of it. We talking everything. We talking about all the other tabletop games through CD Projekt Red, the video game company, and also they do tabletops too. They did a tabletop for it, for Edge Runners. Edge Runners, the anime on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. It's one of my all-time favorite animes. Right up there with Akira and others that I consider in my top 5. I ain't putting them in no particular order of who's, well, I don't know. Akira can be number 1. It just is. And that's another cyberpunk genre concept. You know, Akira's just so beautiful in many ways for its the story, the complexity, the friendships, the betrayals, the shit, man. That story, man, that's epic stuff right there. You ain't never seen Akira, but yeah. Say that especially for my young folk, because a lot of them they only deal with the animes that they know from their generation. They don't go back to the beginning of it all, and that's my era. What's up to one in the building? Thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. 6 in the building. I ought to see 6 thumbs up. I ought to see 6 thumbs up. That's how we do it, baby. I need it balanced. I need that scale balanced at all times. I need it balanced at all times. If you're a Libra, I'm speaking your language. I'm not a Libra, but I'm just saying. You're a scale. You understand what I'm saying by that. I need it balanced, okay? 6 and 1, that ain't gonna do. We're gonna need 6 all the way up. Now we got 8. We're gonna need 8 thumbs up in the building, please. Thank you. So, Cyberpunk ATL, let me tell y'all about it, if you don't know. For all those who are new to the channel that need to be coming back daily to check out the channel, to watch the content, to especially watch that series, amongst everything else. I'm not gonna say get stuff. If that's not your vibe, don't worry about it. We got other stuff. We got fishing, we got travel, we got shopping videos, we got, oh my gosh, what do we have? We got music, we got movie reviews, we got, well, I was gonna say something that I do on Instagram that I don't really do here, but we're gonna bring that in there eventually. But I have this one page on Instagram called ONYXCON Hotties, HOTTIEZ, celebrating the beautiful ladies of the world and their talents. Shout out to all the ladies, mwah, all my grown, beautiful, sexy ladies out there in the world. That's who I'm talking to, especially if you're single. Hello, holla at the DMs. But no, for real, we got ONYXCON Hotties, we got ONYXCON Rides, we got ONYXCON Music, we got ONYXCON Fitness, we got ONYXCON Outdoors, we got ONYXCON, which one am I forgetting? I got so many I start forgetting. And I said to myself so many times, I need to make a jingle or something so I can just read it like that and they don't never go out my mind because I always remember what it is. But anyway, point being, oh, ONYXCON Music. I don't think I said that yet. And then of course the main page, ONYXCON. So ONYXCON, the main page is where we mostly focus on, I'll post any of them other elements even there on Instagram, but I tend to focus on the comic book culture and lore, animation at large, movies coming out, new music, celebrity news and things of that nature, fun moments, cute stuff, you know, that's what I put there, especially. Then ONYXCON Outdoors, it's everything you would expect when most people hear outdoors, you know, a lot of flora, fauna, information about the rest of nature, okay, animals and plants, the world we live in, the splendor and magnificence of it all, okay, it's there. What else? With ONYXCON Fitness, it's mind, body, and soul. Yes, there's some gym culture element to it, but it's not so much that. I'm not a gym rat, so my stuff is more like, I do post videos of folks doing workouts and showing you really crazy stuff you can do to, you know, fellas, get your body right, ladies, get your body right, everybody get their body right, stay in good health, you know, stay right so you ain't got to get ready, so you ready for the next pandemic, so you ready for the next big scare. I ain't trying to scare nobody up. I'm just saying shit is going to happen because this is the world we in now. People are using this stuff strategically as warfare. I'm just saying, make sure your body is right. Do you hear me? Make sure your body's right. You can't be perfect, but you can at least have self-confidence every day you wake up like, yeah, I feel mostly good. I'm eating mostly right. I'm doing what I ought to be doing. I'm getting my steps in. I'm drinking my water. Just the basics, man. That's all. We just push the basics. I can't tell nobody how to eat. We don't have no specific diets we pushing. We ain't on none of that. I'm not no channel that's gonna be like, you gotta all be vegetarians and vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. Never have been. Could not be, because I need meat. I need to eat the stuff I eat. You understand? I need the things I have on my select list for my hereditary situation, my genes, what's in me, what all my ancestors naturally gave me to have to be concerned about. And that's how we all really work. But, you know, you can find out the hard way, or you can believe in a whole bunch of other folk telling you that everybody ought to be doing things one way. That's just not the truth. You know, there are some things that just ain't good for everybody. Like, you know, I always make the joke. I say, try to survive off a diet of soda and Twinkies, and call me in about a week if you ain't in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But yeah, so we focus on a lot of different things. To quickly shout out on that, I mentioned fishing and outdoors. Yo, last fishing adventure we did, major video. Shout out to my pops. We went out with a good friend of ours, new family. I said new family because we found out we were family through a mutual friend that's like family, and was like, what? We know, man. Oh, what? You know? Oh, man. It was one of them moments like that. But Art Fennell, y'all. Art Fennell, the legend who runs the channel Country Style. If you've never seen Country Style, check him out. Art Fennell, Fennell. 2 N's, 2 L's. Art Fennell, check him out. Good brother, real good brother. We went out fishing with Art, and he did all his content is about country living, country lifestyle, country related stuff. And we went fishing with him. You know what I'm saying? My pops got a charter, and we went out, man. We got stripers. I got the biggest striper of my life, striper bass, if you know what I'm talking about, like that. Doggone gar, which is one of my all-time favorite fish in freshwater. Long-nosed gar, forever and a day, love me some gar. Caught a gar, only one of the year so far, but I was happy as hell to get it. Art caught his first gar, that was amazing. All that's on my video, you can check it out. And then Art's got his own video coming, hopefully soon. I can't speak on nobody else's, you know, release dates and things of that nature, but I do know that he's planning it. That's all I can say. It's coming. It's coming. So if you already follow him, it's coming. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. But yeah, it was a great day, and I want y'all to see that if you love fishing content. If you just think it would be interesting, you know, some of y'all, I know how it goes. Some people just be curious, and that's good enough. Curious watch time hours is still watch time hours. You know, we don't do this work for nothing. We want people to watch it. That's literally the main reason. Then, hell, we got to survive. We got to maintain, and the only way we can do that is monetization. So we ain't gotten that yet. I always say, YouTube, hey, this thing owe me residuals, because it's always putting ads on my content even when I ain't making money. They make their money whether I made the money or not. So don't that sound like a residual situation to you? I would think, you know, somebody's making money off of something you are putting on. Like, yeah, they got an entity, you're a part of it. It's free to be a part of it, but they make money off of your participation in it, but they ain't paying you shit to be in it. Hello? No, you need residuals. It's time for residuals. I wish they would get that right. Seriously, all funny sounding, making it all sound all great. I'm just gonna say it straight. For real talk, y'all, if you're a YouTuber, hit the comments. Let me know if you feel the same way, because I just feel like the more we say it, the more they'll realize, man, people are talking, they're upset. And they ain't even gotta send us that little goofy survey they send, they don't even send that no more. They used to send us a survey almost every year. I noticed we ain't been getting, I haven't gotten one in a while. And it cracks me up. Like, it's almost like, nah, we don't even care what y'all think. We got so much money, we don't even worry about what y'all think. We just gonna do whatever we want to do. And you either gonna get with it or leave. And that's how all these multi-billionaire, trillionaire type folks start acting after a while. When they still in millions, the high millions, about to be a billion, might have just crossed a billion. There's some of them, not all of them. A lot of them, they never gave a damn, but they'll send out a survey. Hey, what do you think? We just want to know what you think. We really care. You be like, oh, okay. Well, this is what I think. And you thinking to yourself, why you answering it? Like, is anybody really gonna look at this? You make all your statements. You dot all your I's, cross all your T's, tell them what you think. And next month, everything's the goddamn same. Ain't nothing changed, okay? You suggest stuff about what would make it easier to post, ain't nothing changed. You know, they want to debunk the myth, what they call a myth, that we don't favor certain channels and we don't gatekeep. And okay, well then why is it there's still legends? I'm talking about folk who got way more numbers than me. Folk who got 250,000 or 500,000 subscribers, and they're complaining about not getting the views they should be getting when they drop videos. Where in the world? How that makes sense? And then they do comparative study and show, like, shout out to Ace Live. Ace does a lot of that lately because he's been frustrated about his numbers. And he deserves to be frustrated, man. That brother is excellent, man. Y'all don't know about Ace? If you don't know about Ace, check out Ace Live, man. He just go by Ace now, but I'm going to always call him Ace Live because that was his first name on here. And that's how that's how I found the channel. So it's just natural that I say that. But good brother from Miami, who has literally traveled damn near the entire world. He's even been to Antarctica. Antarctica, y'all. That brother doing it. He's in, I don't know if he's still there, but he was in Papua New Guinea. PNG, shout out to PNG. He was doing a lot of content from there that's amazing. I mean, I was watching it just the other night. I was like, man, oh man, this brother's so in touch with what matters, man. He was just so humble about this moment. He was on this boat trip for viewing dolphins, and the dolphins came up. And if you know how some dolphins will do, they'll get to the front of a boat and just be like racing the boat and jumping. He was just saying, like, yo, to be able to share a moment like this is so humble. I was like, yeah, bro, this is amazing. And his camera work is great. He's shooting 4K with the action cam. He got the drones, all that good stuff. His stuff be looking amazing. And I mean, you just felt like you on the boat. Like you could see through the water. That beautiful blue water looked like the Caribbean, but it's PNG, it's the whole other side of the world. Incredible. I said, man, this is what dreams are made of right here. That's the kind of life I'm about right there every day. And I've had moments like that. I've been on a boat and had dolphins running at the front of the boat like that. That kind of stuff. If that's your thing, if that would move you, you feel what I'm saying. Some people, so what? Well, I ain't talking to you. You're the last people that need to even be here. I need people who understand the majesty of seeing a damn dolphin. That is not something to take light. You see a dolphin in the wild, that's some beautiful stuff. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Yeah. Had to do a little quick something. We bounce right back. We here. Yeah, man. But the dolphins in that video, that made my moment with that. I had to, I always like all his videos, but I was quick to be like, that moment reminded me, ooh, before I forget, let me make sure I like the video. Make sure you like the video, please. If you like the video, you like this video right now, like it. All right, we at least we even right now. We got 3 in. We'll see if that third one will come on and put that thumbs up. But no, for real, that matters. Because I've learned, I used to wonder why everybody's stressed about the likes. I get it now. It's not just a like. It ain't personal. I mean, it should be direct. Like, yo, I like your energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying what you really doing, it's almost like voting on, I like this channel. Let's keep this one going. Keep promoting this one. Keep letting me know when this guy posts. I want to see more from this. I want to see more content like this. That's what you're doing. That's what you're teaching the algorithm every single time you like a video. And so it does matter. It actually is the difference between a channel that would have been monetized a year ago, but, people just come in, watch, and leave. And that's what we all struggling with now. Everybody. I'm talking about, when I say everybody, I don't know what it is. I don't even know how to explain it at this point. I just have to I say to myself all the time, I say, man, just keep going. Don't try pretend you can figure out what the hell's wrong with humanity to where people can enjoy something every day knowing it's not regular television, something like YouTube, something like Instagram, something, any of the social media things. It's not regular television. It's not supported by mega corporations. Yes, in a way, yes, but not directly, because until we're monetized, we don't, like I said, we don't get a piece of any of that money. Y'all see all them ads that they put on here. So the only way we get some of that and sustain ourselves to then, of course, be alive and well enough to keep making content. So when you get curious, hey, I wonder how so-and-so, you don't go back to a dead channel. And I know any of y'all who really watch YouTube, I'm talking about for real, not no casual watch. I'm talking about people who really, you watch it like I watch it. Like, this is my #1 television station. I have cable, so to speak. I mean, you know, streaming stuff. I got Disney. I got, it's crazy that I have Disney and I barely even watch it. Because all I'll be waiting on is the stuff I love the most. Like, okay, if National Geographic drops something I just gotta watch, I watch. You know, I like David Attenborough. David Attenborough. I'm David Attenborough. I like Attenborough. Just his voice cracks me up. And I mean, it's always good. The presentation amazing. I like those features. I like anything Star Wars, of course, Marvel, but and not everything. Because I admit, like, some of the like animated stuff and everything, it's not as much my go-to. So like, I haven't watched Marvel Zombies because I don't really like zombies as a category of horror. It's not my thing. I always say I like strong monsters, man. I like motherfucking creatures and shit. I mean, I guess you could say a zombie's a creature, but no. Yeah. Fucking dead people falling apart, that ain't my shit. That ain't me. I like Godzilla, King Kong, vampires, werewolves, freaking, you know, things that look strong and are strong. Not no falling apart, but still can have abnormal strength and bite somebody and turn them into the same nasty cretin. I'm like, yeah. And I've heard some people give their logic on why they like zombies, so I get it. I don't not get why it's a thing, but it's just not my thing. So I haven't watched that. I haven't seen the Marvel Zombies thing, but I have watched some of the other animated stuff and dug it or whatever. But like, so yeah, you know, so I'm saying I'm on those regular things like most people, but I don't participate in it to the level that really most people do. Like, you know, some folk got like 50 channels they don't even barely watch, instead of paying the bill or wondering where their money's going. You know, you got hundreds of dollars in television content that you barely watch. Now, if you're in a household full of people, okay, maybe it's getting evened out because your kids watching the other stuff you don't watch, your wife watching the other stuff you don't watch, whatever. I'm a single man, so like, it's real plain and simple. Like, if that ain't me, I ain't spending that money. No, we gonna save that every month. We cut that off. So I love YouTube because it keep it real simple for me. I watch YouTube. I got Peacock, so I'll tune in with my show. Like, every now and then if they got a game, they'll get an NFL game, and I'll be like, well, hell, you can't get it no other way, so I'll go and see a little bit of this tonight. If it's a team I give a damn about. And even that's rare that I watch that. But I be looking for stuff like Bel-Air. That's my show on Peacock. Like, when that new season come, I'm right there. I'm going to be watching it. Love it. Great show. Incredible show. Well written. Amazingly acted. And me being in the biz, I appreciate it on many technical and theatrical levels. You know what I'm saying? It's just great work. They doing the real deal. You know, shout out to all the cast, crew, everybody from Bel-Air. But, you know, these are the things I watch. But when I look at most of my schedule, I'm watching 99% of a year, man. I'm watching YouTube. I watch my favorite people on YouTube. And I know it's not regular television, so my responsibility to it, and that's why I'm sharing with you, if you'll look at it this way with me, value it and don't take it for granted. This is like public broadcast television. It's literally something you have to support for it to exist. You have to share your love of it. You have to put the thumbs up. It don't cost you to say thumbs up. It don't cost you to subscribe. It don't cost you to like a video. And it's the least you could do to maintain these channels. Of course, mine included. You know, you got to do it. If you want to see us, keep showing up. Because we love doing this. As you know, I do this every day on purpose. It's therapeutic for me to go live, share my thoughts. Sometimes I look back at what I had to say a month ago versus what I'm talking about now, and I see the progress. I see, okay, that thing that I didn't think was going to happen, I kept talking about it. People heard me. They did it. You know, they started liking videos more. They started watching the long videos, not just the shorts. Like, some of y'all are doing that, and I see it. Thank you. Thank you. I see, and it's slow growth. I knew it would be, but that's okay. We didn't have no growth for months, so I'm happy to see, numbers go up on stuff like Cyberpunk ATL. Y'all are responding to that new content. Y'all like it. Thank you, because Lord knows I'm putting in the hours to get it done, and it's every day. Every day I woke up today like this. It's part of my routine. I've shared this before, being transparent. Like, I wake up, I check my numbers. If I got a few shorts to post, I might post those. Matter of fact, I got something just reminding me. I got some toy video shorts I want to share with y'all. Some cool stuff I saw in the stores. And, I do that all year round, but especially now for everybody looking for stuff for Christmas. Oh, I got you. I got some real cool stuff I'm gonna share. But anyway, I'll do that, and then I'll go and share with myself. I'll share my script ideas for what ends up being the voiceover script for what y'all hear when I do presentations like Cyberpunk ATL. So, like today, I was writing out this script, and I got so crunk because I got so amped, man, just like this right here. I always know it's good when I'm excited about it. Like, I'm grinning now because I know how good this idea is. And I've literally taken something that would seem obvious in the Cyberpunk universe if you play the video game. And all I'll say to give a little tease is, anybody who plays the game, you know how Pacifica is. Pacifica is like a wasteland. It's like a ghost town. And it's buildings that were abandoned. I'm talking about skyscrapers and stuff that people would live in and work in, totally abandoned. Well, not totally, because there's a lot of squatters and stuff. There's plenty of homelessness and gangs running around crazy and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of world it is, and especially in Pacifica. But because it's so destitute, I was like, man, if something like that with a neighborhood, whatever, a bunch of abandoned strip malls, whatever, that happens in Atlanta. There's a lot of places like that around the Atlanta metro, but skyscraper, and I know this, this is a fantasy based on what could happen. And yes, there are some, mega multiple story buildings, even in the Atlanta area, that have sat abandoned for years, that have been used. Cause I know for a fact, because I've worked in some of them for films. Like, I wasn't in this scene, but I'm thinking about one that some friends of mine I know were in, and then I've been in other scenes like that. But the famous scene in the first Black Panther film with the casino, they shot that in two places. There was part of it, like the outdoor scenes where they were supposed to be in Korea. They really were in Korea. They went to Korea and they shot some of that, South Korea. But then the whole casino they had built, that was built inside of a office facility near the airport in Hateville. And I'm speaking from real shit because I'm in the biz. Like I say, I know folks who worked on that. Unfortunately, I did work on both the first and second Black Panther, but I just wasn't in that scene. So I didn't get into the casino scene. I wish I had, because it sounded so fly. I mean, you saw how it ended up looking in the film. It looked amazing. So they built all of that inside of an abandoned, play, because that's what Hollywood would do. They got the kind of money. They'll literally rent out stuff that's dead and turn it into something for the moment. Like when I did, for instance, another example of something I did do, Sleepless Night. Was it called Sleepless Night? Or Night? I think it is Sleepless Night, with Jamie Foxx. And he's this corrupt cop that gets into some mess with some crooks that he's dealing with, where they kidnap his son, and he's got to try and get his son back. So the whole movie, he's trying to rescue his son in the movie. And so Jamie Foxx was there, and we were in this, like, it was a plaza that had, it was a strip mall plaza where it used to have a grocery store or something. I know where we were in, it must have been like a grocery store and a clothing store, because it was a big, huge space, two spaces side by side that were for rent, that they rented out, the production, so they could do that scene. And right next to it was like a laundromat, a little small grocery store, some other stuff. It was a very big Latino community. And I can remember I laughed because I see all the people looking down at our area of the parking lot that was kind of sectioned off for us to park. And it was all these, cars and the lightning trucks. If you know the biz, you know what I'm talking about, lightning trucks. These are the trucks they use for the power, to bring power into a facility and stuff. They had all that stuff parked outside. So I know people looking like, what are they doing down there? What they feel? But they had security, so they couldn't, got major A-list star up in there, Jamie Foxx. They weren't trying to have just random people walking around, wandering into the building. So we were safe and all that, but it wasn't even a bad neighborhood. It was a working class neighborhood, but it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't like, it wasn't no ruffians, it wasn't no gangs hanging out, there wasn't no place like that. It was real chill over there. But it was just, kind of poor and hard working, and that's it. And I just always laugh because I thought to myself, if those people knew who was in this building, they would be lined up outside with cameras trying to get an autograph. Like, it's crazy. But people don't even know all that was going on. But yeah, we were there all day, all night for like 2, 3 days. I came in on like the last day on a rush call. It was crazy. It was fun, but it was crazy. Big time. Okay. But yeah, that's an example of how they do. So I'm saying, you know, if that were in a cyberpunk reality, like in the game, when you're in Pacifica, and there was abandoned buildings like that, the one I'm talking about sits in a parking lot by itself. No, this is a city. Pacifica's like its own little mini city. It's got skyscrapers and stuff, right? Ain't no in the hell the folk who put that money into that. I'm not saying it's impossible in the economy we're already in and where it could go. But I'm saying if it were to reach the worst, like the game holds a mirror to the face of current society, and that's what the whole genre of cyberpunk does. Like, you think it's bad, what if it was like this, you know? And I'm saying Pacifica just couldn't stay like that. So in my mind as a writer, I have an idea of how that's going to get redeveloped. That's all I'm gonna say. And I hint at that in my Cyberpunk ATL story because I connected Night City, California to Atlanta, because Atlanta's one of them towns where, you know, we had the busiest airport in the world. So almost everybody all over the world gets connector flights to Atlanta. I don't care where they coming from. I don't care what side of the globe. If there's any way for it to bridge a fueling station or just be a transfer place, you're gonna come through ATL. That's a fact. Especially if you were, you know, if you're talking Europe, West Africa, South Africa, put it like this, anywhere Delta flies, hello, because it's the Delta hub, you know what I mean? For real talk. And in the fantasy world of what Mike Pondsmith came up with, you still have flights and stuff. It's more dangerous to travel flying or riding on the boat, or because there's pirates in the ocean, there's nomads on the land, there's folk who will literally shoot a cyber missile launcher and knock a plane out of the sky and stuff like that, you know, just to raid it, just to get whatever's on it if they got anything left when it hit the ground. You know, there's groups that do all that in this world that he created and how it works. So I'm keeping all that in mind and to make it fun, but I still have enough intel to know that if by the time, if things were the way they were in 2077, my world, I made it 2080. So by the time you add 3 more years, you know, one thing about big business and with all these huge corporations in the game, if they're as prosperous as the biggest ones are, which are insanely prosperous, and there's an absolute divide of have and have-nots, they're never over their greed. They're always trying to expand and make up for losses and get that money that got dropped on the floor. So Pacifica is the money that got dropped on the floor. You know, you would never, in my opinion, with that much power still, infrastructure still existing, not have enough groups that would say, you know what, I don't care how bad the gang situation is, I don't care how bad and destitute it is, we're gonna go in there and clear that shit up and remake it. We're gonna remake that. that money need to be everything we had planned, because when you read the history of Pacifica, it's amazing. They, you know, and you can see it when you play in the game. You know, it's like a huge mall, gigantic mall, right on the beach. You had an amusement park right on the beach. You had the beach. That alone is everything. Beachfront property, period. The whole town sat on the beach. So it's like a Miami in California is what they based it kind of looking like. You know, I mean, LA itself, any of those places that sit on the beach have that atmosphere, but you know, some places are more party-esque and family entertainment like than others. So then you see what happens with Dogtown that sits right next to Pacifica. And if you observe what they have in Dogtown, they got a lot of casinos and stuff. Like, I think they have casinos but they definitely have casinos. It's like a Vegas on the beach in Pacifica. But then Dogtown is even more about the casino and all that stuff. You got all this gambling culture stuff happening there in the big pyramid that's reminiscent, of course, obviously a shout out to Memphis, and the Bass Pro Shops, the big pyramid there, they have a thing like that in Dogtown, and but inside of it, it's a club. You know, it's a nightclub, and it's the fanciest, in my opinion, one of the most fanciest in the entire game. Even though it's in a total slum. Outside, it's the slums. Inside, this shit is decadent. It's crazy, but that's hilarious. That's what I like about the game, how they show how in a world like that, yeah, it could be like that. Because I mean, they got armed, militarized, highest teched out, weaponized guards at the door and all around the facility. And even though there's this extreme poverty and destitution outside and craziness, like I say, if you one of the ballers, the high rollers that come there to do whatever, they get you in and out, or at least the goal is to get you in and out safely. But while you inside there, ain't nobody bringing up no drama up in there. Like, there's one mission you do. I wish I could remember the name of that mission because I played that and it was fun. Where you go into the pyramid and you set it off. You got the option of not getting into a conflict, but that's almost impossible with how many guards they had in the floor that you go to. You go to this floor on somewhere up in the top levels of the pyramid, and it's like, you know, a bunch of apartments basically up there, and it's all fancy up there too. And you end up, you know, if you do it the way I played it, you set it off and you get into all this mess, and it's hilarious because, you know, folk keep coming until it's over, but when you clear out the place, you air it out the place, and it's like, and if I remember right, when you get downstairs, you still had to fight your way out the front because they waiting on you. It was a mess, but I've done so many missions like that. They're always more or less the same. The thing that makes it different and fun is the environment. So that was different. That was real different. And you know, then there's my absolute favorite mission in Dogtown is there's this, and I found that by chance. You know, I mean, there's still, I haven't played in a while. I've been so focused on my story. I still got a few more secret missions and weapons and stuff to find. Because I haven't done all the main missions. Like, every main mission I've done. But, oh boy. Sorry about that, y'all. Damn phone ran hot. It never fails on a sunny day. If the sun is coming through that windshield real good and I got my phone on that carrier and it's like direct on the back of it, I'm thinking it's not that hot because it's not that hot out here. I mean, it's warm enough for me to walk around in a t-shirt for now till later when it get cold. It's a nice little subtle breeze, but if that sun is direct, it's gonna jack it up, and that's what happens. So yeah, pardon. I said, man, I'm waiting on this order. Let me get me some steps in because they got me waiting. I don't like just sitting in the car waiting. I'm wasting my time. I could be outside walking. I could be somewhere hiking. If I ain't had to worry about this money. You know what I'm saying? Because if my 500,000 subscribers come on board and get these watch hours straight for me, that's what we're going to really start doing. I'm going to always be talking to y'all from the woods. I'm going to be walking somewhere. I'm going to be somewhere in the world, showing y'all the world. I keep telling y'all that's the content I got for y'all. I just need my real fans of that who already love that to just watch everything we do, like everything we do. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to live it. You're going to see. Because we still going to do it. It's just, we can do it this week or we can do it next year. It's up to y'all. It's all about them likes, that viewing time, them watch hours, y'all. That's what it's all about. If you do that, we're going to be straight. For real. So, yeah, they are taking their time today. Good God. Wonder how many more cars I gotta wait on before they ready. Anyway, so as I was saying about the game, so there's a mission that you play in Dogtown where there's a, what do they call them things? I think in real life they call them, what they call combines or whatever. Like those special camps for talented kid athletes where they go into the camp and they train and it's a high tuition to be in it or whatever, but they supposedly have all the connections, like a mini sports agency to get kids signed as star athletes in different sports. basketball, football, whatever. So, and this is all based on real stuff. So I thought this was really cool that they did this. But they made it one that was like super fancy in this cyberpunk world where the kids get, you know, like this, it's become legal to have cyber augmentations. Like, you know, you got robotic legs and arms and stuff, so you can go faster than normal or whatever. Like, all that stuff has become normalized, but it's expensive. So a poor kid that might be talented just naturally, they can't afford the legs or the arms and all that other stuff, needs a scholarship or somebody to believe in them or some way or one how to get into these types of things. So this particular one in Dogtown attracts all these global hustlers and gamblers, because again, it's still tied in with betting culture, that literally buy the kids. You know, they are buying their interest in these future star athletes, and they, you know, pay for their cyber enhancements, you know, get their chrome and stuff, as they call it on the street. They call it chrome, and then they basically have enough to become everything they want them to become and get the money out of course, their success in their career. But it's all real messy, and it's like very abusive, and they were explaining that in the storyline, and that a lot of the kids, it makes or breaks them, and some of them get frustrated and don't want to be a part of that. And so it's deep, and it's all in the story. And your mission is to basically go in and save this one kid, and you end up in a conflict with this super aggressive, money-hungry woman who runs the camp, so to speak. And she's basically tries to, you know, you've got an assignment as a merc to get the kid out. I can't remember if you had to take her out or not, but I think what happened was she got aggressive, and you know, it's either you go, it's like fight or flight. But in this game, most of the time, you're always in a situation where you trapped, where you gotta gotta go hard. Ain't no way to get out. So, as I remember it, you know, you make it to the office and have this chat with her where it basically explains just how corrupt this whole thing is and how dirty the whole way they do stuff is. And you're like, yo, by the time you hear all that, you're like, man, I can't wait to smoke this food and bust these pixels. As I call my show, busting pixels, baby. I was like, oh, these pixels finna get busted on here, because this fool talking crazy, and he's around here abusing these kids. They got to go. So, but what's really sad about it is, once you save the one kid that you're there to help, yes, you naturally release all the other ones that were under this program. But basically, you know the thing gonna get rebuilt and keep going, because there's too much money tied into it that's corrupt and stuff. But the kid is like the son of this merchant in the Dogtown market at the huge stadium that's been converted into a underworld market for all kinds of stuff, mostly weapons and stuff, vehicles, militarized vehicles, and also cyber augmentations, hacking stuff, everything. You get everything there. And there's a clothing marketer, dude sells clothes, and his stuff is fly. But you don't know it until that mission. I love how they tied it all together. His son was one of the kids who was trying to get out, and he's the one you saved. And you see the little boy sitting on his stand every time you go to the market after that. And the kid's cool with you because, you know, you saved his life. But the dad is such an asshole who is so obsessed with using his child as a way to get money and get out of his bad situation that he's mad at you. He got an attitude with you. So like, every time you go to his stand, he's frowning at you. And if you talk to him, he's like, we had everything. And thanks to you, you messed it all up. We would have had all we needed to get out of this dump and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, dude, your kid psychologically was losing his mind. You don't care nothing about that. It's like, you need to basically know. That's what it's, kind of a statement. Like, no, you don't care nothing about that. And he was happy to get the kid out of the house and away from whatever, being a mouth he had to feed. Because when he was in the program, he's living at the camp. You know, he don't have to take care of him. I said, oh, this deadbeat motherfucker here. It was like stuff in the game that I wish they would, like, when people get like that, we're like, oh, some more pixels to get busted. Would have whoop his ass, punk ass motherfucker. Who you talking to? But it was like, I done saved your son. Now you popping. Oh my gosh, that game is hilarious, man. Cyberpunk is the shit. So, yeah. So anyway, ultimately, why I brought up all of that about Dogtown is to say the fact that it has this underbelly of wealth. It looks like a total squalor, but inside the buildings, a lot of them are functional and are, quite frankly, some of the fanciest places you'll see in the entire game. Like when you play that mission in Phantom Liberty and go to the big ball extravaganza with the performance from Lizzie Wizzy. Yeah, that's her name. From Lizzie Wizzy, which is dope too. That song is off the chain. Love that song. It's one of the best moments in the game. It's like, it's a real fancy place. It's got a little casino. Everybody's dressed to the nines, shit, to the tens. I mean, it's the flyest stuff you're gonna do in the game. So, if you haven't played it, if you are playing it and you're wondering what's coming next, make sure you know, if you haven't already gotten Phantom Liberty, get it, because it's worth playing. Trust me, you're gonna see so much stuff that you don't expect. And that's what I love about it. Man, they got me waiting for real. I ain't never had to wait this long for nothing like this. It's that holiday stuff, y'all. Closer we get to Thanksgiving, that's all I know. That's what that is. That's what that is. Delays on everything. I'm right here.
Is your name right here?
What's it? Alright. So yeah. Probably my stuff right now. We'll check back in with. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. Alright, we back. We back. Okay, so yeah, y'all, I was just giving y'all the lay of the land on how I get excited and create up these concepts for Cyberpunk ATL based on the video game, especially for Cyberpunk 2077. And I got a lot of really cool world building ideas to add to what already exists in canon, stretching it with my fan fiction, because that's what it is. It's fan fiction. I'm by no means claiming that this is a part of the actual established legit canon for the IP, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Went down the wrong way. Oh man. Hate when that happens, especially on camera with y'all. But I do believe in what I've created, and I think it could be a part of the actual canon if it were ever to be acknowledged. And I believe that it can, because they've shown, and when I say they, I'm saying CD Projekt Red, Mike Pondsmith, with his company, R. Talsorian, they have shown in the past that they appreciate what the fans want, what they add to the possibilities. You know, Mike has blessed the addition of a character, Ozob, O-Z-O-B, Ozob, which is Bozo backwards. And it's a character that I think is really cool. But Ozob is supposed to be like part of this gang called the Bozos, and they're a bunch of insane clowns, basically. And so it's crazy, but it's like, it's believable at the same time, and it's fun. And a lot of fans love that gang concept. They just love it. So it was literally started by a guy in Brazil who's got, to my understanding, a network that covers pop culture, you know. And him and his main associate, they created this character, Ozab. And he's, like I say, he's popular enough in Brazil. You know how big Brazil is. So that alone, just one country alone gave it a fandom, right? And then that got back to CD Projekt Red. They liked it. And not only did they invite that brother and his friend to the official premiere of Cyberpunk when they first released the game, but they put the character in the game. You know, he's one of the missions you do. It's a prize fight mission you have with the character V. And so that's hella cool, man. Just imagine, you know, something you came up with for fun. Because they played the tabletop game. And it was a character he created for playing the tabletop game. And they thought it was innovative enough that they was like, yo, we're gonna honor this character. It's popular, y'all made it popular. We're gonna put him in the game. I'm like, and you know, and I got no secret agendas. That's my goal for Mantis, my character Mantis. I want to see Mantis somehow in the universe. It don't have to be the next game, but we got plenty of time for that to be a possibility. I mean, I'm just saying, you got 5 years, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time, a lot of things can happen in 5 years. You never know, right? You never know, but that wasn't, you know, that by no means was that the absolute inspiration for me doing it. It was reinforcement for why it's a good move, but I was gonna do it anyway because I had fandom for the game and I love the characters and I love the world. And the main thing that inspired me to do Cyberpunk ATL was the mention of Atlanta in the game. That's what set it off. That was the spark that lit the flame that turned into the raging volcano. Hello. Yeah, it was all about that. When I saw, I'm sorry, I'm just noticing I'm doing these deliveries and something I got back there has food underneath the stuff that wasn't food. I can smell it. I'm like, what the hell is that smell? That's what that is. Ain't no mistaking that certain smell of fruit. And it's something stinky like cantaloupe or something. I'm like, what the hell is that? Anyway, but no, I was inspired by just seeing my city involved in the game. That was enough inspiration for me to be like, you know what? Y'all done messed up in the best way, in a good way. Oh, y'all done fucked up now. You know, it's like in a good way though. Like, cause I was happy. I was like, yo, we in the game, we official. Atlanta is part of this world. You know, always was, but you know, like I say, technically the whole US the whole world could be mentioned at any given time for any reason. But, you know, only a few places have been mentioned. I mean, a lot of places have been mentioned, but, you know, with enough for it to matter. And this matters a lot because V, the main character you play as, stayed in Atlanta for about 2 years. It's a long ass time to be in a place and not have connections. So I made that connection up. I made one of them being the main fixer he had to know and deal with was my character, Mantis. You know, so yeah, man. That's literally what gave birth to everything I'm doing right now with this Cyberpunk ATL thing. But it's got arms and extra legs like a mug, like a centipede. You understand? Like I'm talking about, it's a lot, hell of a lot. Way more than the average of stuff that I'm doing. I couldn't be more proud of it. I love creating. I know it's innovative. I know it's different. And I know if only my main goal right now is just to get the Cyberpunk community, people who play the game already, to see it, appreciate it, because they just don't know about it. That's all it is. If they knew about it, I know they'd love it. You can't play that game that I played and not see what I did with that, and it'd be instant. So yeah, like, you know, as I'm even saying that, that's reminding me to do something I've been meaning to do since the release of the episode. Is I need to find some chat groups online, some Reddit group. I don't really do Reddit. I just read the results of it, but maybe it's time to get on it because it does have a lot of influence. You know, the fact that I read people's responses on it tells you enough to know that it's doing what it do. But get into some of these forums, You know, take it back old school. I used to be on forums back in the day, but when other social media got popular, I left forums because forums always got a bunch of little mouthy. It's a lot of trolling on there, and I can't do the trolling shit, man. You're not gonna be talking to me no kind of way. You're not gonna do it, you know. And if the folks who do the admin work aren't really on the job, then it turns into chaos. So, you know, but if I can find one that's not just one, I need about 10 really good ones that have heavy influence on Cyberpunk and everybody playing it, and I'm gonna start dropping all my stuff over there, you know. So, and if anybody knows one, if you're part of one, if you're part of a group that focuses on gaming in general, it don't have to just be Cyberpunk, but you got to be playing Cyberpunk to make that one of the games y'all love. And yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna have to break that down for y'all. All right. That's all I got for y'all now, man. I'm gonna stay focused out here on these streets, and I might check in with y'all later. We'll see. Y'all check out the content though, and keep hitting the love button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.